What if I told you there's a hidden part of yourself that's been sabotaging your relationships, your career, and your happiness without you even knowing it? What if this same force could unlock abilities you never knew you had? Today, we're diving deep into one of psychology's most powerful concepts that could change everything about how you see yourself and others. Carl Jung, one of history's greatest psychologists, discovered something shocking about human nature. He found that every single person carries what he called a shadow, and the more we ignore it, the more dangerous it becomes. Jung said it perfectly. Everyone carries a shadow, and the less it is embodied in consciousness, the blacker and denser it grows. So what exactly is your shadow? Think of it as the person you absolutely do not want to be. It's every quality, every impulse, every thought that makes you cringe when you see it in others. The shadow contains all those parts of ourselves we've pushed away because they seem weak, embarrassing, or downright evil. But here's where it gets interesting. Your shadow isn't just sitting there quietly. It's actively influencing your life in ways you can't imagine. Ever wonder why you suddenly snap at someone during a perfectly normal conversation? Why certain people just instantly irritate you for no clear reason? That's your shadow talking. When we refuse to acknowledge these hidden parts of ourselves, something fascinating happens. We start projecting them onto other people. That person you can't stand at work? The one who seems arrogant and selfish? There's a good chance they're reflecting a part of your shadow that you refuse to see. Jung discovered there are actually two types of shadows we need to understand. First, there's your personal shadow, those individual traits you've buried deep inside. But then there's something even more powerful, the collective shadow. The collective shadow represents the dark side of entire societies and cultures. It's the force behind wars, genocides, and mass hysteria. Remember Nazi Germany? Jung explained how ordinary people fell into what he called a demonic nature by ignoring their personal shadows and becoming possessed by the collective darkness. This is why understanding your shadow isn't just personal development. It's about preventing history from repeating itself. But wait, there's actually good news about your shadow. Jung discovered that your shadow doesn't just contain negative traits. Hidden within it are normal instincts, appropriate reactions, realistic insights, and creative impulses. Your shadow is like a treasure chest of untapped potential that you've been too afraid to open. Marie-Louise von Franz, Jung's closest collaborator, put it beautifully. The shadow becomes hostile only when ignored or misunderstood. When you start working with your shadow instead of against it, everything changes. So how do you actually do shadow work? Jung called it the psychological equivalent of the labors of Hercules. And he wasn't exaggerating. This is some of the most challenging inner work you'll ever do. First, you need to become a detective of your own reactions. Pay attention to when you get triggered. Notice who irritates you and ask yourself, what quality in them am I refusing to see in myself? This isn't about becoming self-critical. It's about becoming honest. Your dreams are another powerful gateway to your shadow. Jung noticed that shadow figures in dreams often appear as people of the same gender as the dreamer. They're like internal critics showing you aspects of yourself you'd rather ignore. The goal isn't to eliminate your shadow. That's impossible and dangerous. Instead, you want to integrate it consciously. Jung emphasized that we shouldn't strive for perfection, but for wholeness. There is no light without shadow, and no psychic wholeness without imperfection. When you do this work authentically, something amazing happens. You stop being controlled by unconscious forces. You reclaim parts of yourself you thought were lost forever. That assertiveness you thought was aggression, it might be exactly what you need to advance your career. That sensitivity you thought was weakness, it could be your greatest strength in relationships. But the impact goes beyond just you. Jung believed that when individuals face their shadows honestly, they prevent themselves from falling into collective madness. As one modern teacher put it, the war is in us, but is also in everyone. Everything is ready to explode, and we are all co-responsible. This is why shadow work is both deeply personal and globally important. Every person who faces their darkness with courage makes it easier for others to do the same. Every individual who takes responsibility for their projections helps heal the collective wound. The truth is, your shadow will influence your life whether you acknowledge it or not. The question is, will you let it control you from the darkness, or will you bring it into the light where it can become a source of power and wisdom? Jung's message is clear. The path to authenticity, to wholeness, to becoming who you really are, requires befriending the parts of yourself you've been running from your entire life. The courage to face your shadow isn't just about personal growth. It's about breaking cycles that have been repeating for generations. It's about becoming truly free. What part of your shadow are you ready to explore? Let me know in the comments below. And if this opened your eyes to something new about yourself, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the mysteries of human psychology. Your shadow is waiting, and it has gifts you can't even imagine.